What is good, everybody? It's your boy OmegaPro back at it with yet another episode of the Cult Cast. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cult Cast is a podcast where I talk about random shit that I want to talk about. And sometimes, on occasion, I'll have a guest. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Today is one of those days. May my guest go ahead and introduce himself, please?
Hey everybody, it's me, it's Vocal Pineapple. That's how I start all my videos, and that's how I'm gonna introduce myself here. Awkwardly, hi.
Big W's. So, my homeboy, these are just some of the topics that I have written down. We don't have to stick to this necessarily, but you know, we got some shit here. So, one of the topics that we could talk about is apparently Shonen Jump is in a bad way due to them axing a lot of their good mangas. And then also the popular stuff seems to be ending pretty soon. We can also talk about My Hero's downfall, which I know you would just love to talk about. We could talk about Chainsaw Man. We could talk about Twitter wars. I know you are no stranger to getting into beef on Twitter. And then we can also jump to how to balance YouTube with different hobbies and relationships and all that other good shit. But yeah, we have a great show in the works. But before we do that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. My boy, how the fuck you been, Gango?
I've been pretty good, honestly. I moved into my apartment. It's not the nicest apartment ever, but I'm glad to have like my own space, my own, whole situation going on. It's been real nice for like just getting content done, right? I couldn't really get a lot of content done before where I was. So now it's just nice being able to really feel like I can sit down and take care of that and not feel like, oh, there's a bunch of people in my house and there's all this going on.
You got roaches?
No.
Damn, that sucks.
Absolutely not.
Some of them niggas be paying
Growing up, we had roaches, high key, though.
Nah, me too, bro. Fuck, almost every house I've been in just fucking had roaches.
I was just reality.
Bro, like if I'm sorry, like I cannot relate to you 100% if you didn't grow up with roaches in your house because it teaches you a different skill set. Like it teaches you to never leave a drink out or leave a food out for like any more than 45 seconds because them niggas finna come out the woodwork, bro. And that should be so nasty, bro. I'll be so thirsty. I go grab my drink or whatever. I see a roach floating in that bitch. I just want to.
It take you right out of it. You don't want nothing else anymore. It's done.
Shit sucks, bro. But speaking of things sucking, bro, what's good with My Hero, gang? Like, what happened, bro?
It's really 50-50 right now. It's not looking the best, but it's also not looking the worst. I just think Horikoshi's having like a weird time because I feel like he really wants to end the series, right?
Right.
I remember back in the day, I used to think, oh, My Hero is going to be one of those things where clearly we're going to get a part 2. We're going to see him older, out in the field. All right, it makes sense. Let's deal with all this classroom stuff right now. Then we're going to get the greatness one day.
Right.
And now it's like we're at the end of year 1 or the beginning of year 2. And he's like, no, yeah, that's it. No, we're wrapping it up. Y'all thought I had more? No.
So do you think that like low-key a reason for him being like, man, fuck this bullshit, I'm finna end this, is because of how rabid that fan base is?
I feel like the fan base is crazy, but I don't have any hold on like how the fan base is in Japan, right?
Oh, that's
I feel like they're not as bad over there. So it's like, how much does he pay attention to us over here?
Right.
Right, like maybe a little bit because he is big into like America media and stuff. So I do probably think Horikoshi do be checking like America Twitter, hitting that Google Translate, but hopefully not too much because it does get kind of crazy. It does get kind of crazy on American.
So I got a lot of people that are watching that are kind of worried about, manga spoilers. So let's try to keep it spoiler free for the most part. Anime only content.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anime only content. So pretty much how I have consumed all of My Hero is through your tweets because of the fact that my fault. Because of the fact that like anytime a new chapter comes out or anything happens, like you're tweeting about it. So that's how like I know everything that happened. And I know, again, we're going to keep it manga spoiler free for the manga or for the anime onlys, but there is some shit that just happened with a fake out of sorts. What is your reaction to that?
What do you mean specific? Well, we can't really say specific.
I'll DM it to you on Discord.
That
thing.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I wasn't really happy about that at all.
Yeah.
Wow, you rewoke it.
Yeah.
I really didn't like that at all. I felt like it was pointless. I feel like if you're gonna do a fake out death for a character, right? Don't do 2 in a row, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And then like It's just for what? It's like you're making fake tension at that point, right? Like the tension, there's a lot of reasons for the situation to be really tense. You have all this stuff going on. There's no reason to have to do like fake out deaths here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I didn't like how it was handled. People got at me because I had a bunch of tweets talking about how I really didn't like it. And I don't know. It just made Hori feel really fraudulent, in my opinion, at the time, because it was like, you didn't have to do this. Like, no one put you in this corner that you just wrote yourself into, but you.
Like
So why?
I feel
Why do that?
like you can have stakes in your story that's not necessarily like, oh, is this character going to die? Like there is so many
Yeah.
external factors that you can put into your story to where it's like it's not so like bleak. And we talk I feel like this is a conversation that happens a lot where you know, a lot of anime or TV shows or whatever, it's always like, oh, we have to save the world or the galaxy or whatever from pure destruction or whatever. And it's like the stakes don't always have to be
It doesn't
that
have to get that
crazy,
deep.
you know?
Exactly. It doesn't have to get that crazy. Well, Horikoshi understands that though, right? Because we
Right.
had the culture festival arc, and the whole stakes around that is just like airy, right? Like we want to have airy smile. We don't want to ruin the performance. Everybody is going through a really tough time after a dark section of the story. So Deku's gonna have to fight this guy to keep that from being ruined, right? And those are the stakes. So Horikoshi is good at like doing that, but there's sometimes where I guess he feels like, well, this is really gonna need an extra bit of spice,
Right.
but I'm not ready to commit to like what it takes to actually get there, right? Like he could have gotten rid of that character. I was bigging him up for getting rid of that character, and then he walked back on it. And I was like, okay, cool.
Like
Why?
yeah, it to me it makes it kind of like betrays the audience in a sense to where like now like once you cross that line, like nobody's ever going to
I
like
don't trust you
believe you
now.
again. Exactly, right? Like there's only one death that I can think of that I mean, and I'm not even caught up to the manga, so I don't even know if they walked back on this, but is Twice the only nigga that's died in My Hero?
Twice is gone. That just happened in the anime too. So sorry if y'all missed that episode. Who else has really died? I mean, there's been like some characters that I guess you wouldn't really consider major characters, but
Right.
they've been around major characters that are gone. But no one too like, unless I'm missing somebody, no one's super important. There's characters that are definitely maimed. That's Horikoshi's bag more so right now. Like he
Right.
maims characters. So a character will lose an arm or like an eye or something like that, but they'll still keep being a hero. They're like, oh yeah, no, I want more smoke. Just oddly enough.
So are they ever gonna kill this nigga All Might gang?
So for a long time, I had like this big theory that I thought like before the prison break, All Might is gonna go have this meeting with Stain, and then we're gonna get this whole thing that all these characters in the same place, and we're gonna lose All Might. Now it's like, do we care if he kills All Might?
Like I feel like it. I agree with you. I'm glad you said that because I feel like if he kills All Might now, it's just kind of like, bro, you should have did this shit like
Eh.
so long ago. Like why now?
Yeah, no, there's been a couple of sections of the story where I was like, all right, I'm against killing All Might at this point because it's kind of like who cares? But there's a couple things you could do to make me care, right? Like there was a section, not to get into spoilers or anything at all, but there was a section where it was like, okay, here is the moment
Mm.
where if you're gonna do it, I see you setting up here, and then nothing happened. It was just all like someone took a bath and everything was happy. Like that was it. It just wiped away all the troubles.
So you mentioned this earlier about how Horikoshi can like sort of balance um like having the less stake shit with the higher stake shit. But one criticism for My Hero that I see a lot is that My Hero sort of like has these like peaks and valleys. Like it'll go from like this crazy like critical mass moment to now all of a sudden they're like playing jump rope or whatever
Yeah.
at recess. Like what are your thoughts about that?
I definitely think that's true because of the way that Horikoshi like builds his arcs. We get like a lot of short arcs, but he's always doing these arcs where there's a lot of like there is like that slice of life buildup, right? And you
Right.
could see like he's planting seeds for stuff that he's gonna do later, but like those arcs in and of themselves are kind of skippable, right? Like not literally skippable because you want to get all the content, but there's arcs like the provisional license exam that I just didn't want to watch in the anime. I'm not watching these episodes. There's nothing in here that I need to watch that's important.
Right.
Like, eh. So there are a lot of sections in the story like that, and I want to say it's probably because of how he makes all the arcs shorter, right? You have a bunch of short arcs, so I feel like you're bound to run into those arcs where it's like, in this arc, all I'm gonna do is do a lot of dialogue and a lot of setting up for stuff that it's gonna be cool later. And I feel like he could be better at kind of just doing that in one long arc, doing the setup in the beginning of the arc, you have nice battles split throughout. It could be paced better, in my opinion.
Right. Okay. Now, I actually have another question because there were two people in my chat. One of them said that the slice of life shit in My Hero does not hit. And then the other person said that they really like the slice of life. Now, for me, I feel like the slice of life does not hit because I kind of like, not that I don't like any of the characters, but I don't particularly like care for them. Like, so like, do you feel like there's like what are the good characters in My Hero in your opinion?
I like, as far as like the students or the pro heroes, because I think we could separate those, I guess, a little bit.
Just fucking throw them all together. Like, who are your favorite characters in My Hero?
I really like characters. I like Hawks. I like Dabi. I like Tokoyami a lot. Kirishima's cool. Deku. I mean, people think I hate Bakugo, but I think Bakugo is really awesome. Shoto. Facum's cool. I mean, there's a lot of characters who you look at and you're like, why are you even here? Like, who really cares?
Yeah.
But I think there are a lot of cool characters in My Hero. You just notice how I didn't name a lot of like 1A students.
I was just gonna say that,
right?
yeah.
Like, they're kind of just like there, right? And I think that they're there for like a different reason than you would usually make like a big cast, right? Usually you would make a big cast because you're expecting to do something with all of them. But I feel like in My Hero, they're just there to show like, okay, Deku was this quirkless kid. He shouldn't know anything about being a hero. He was just a big fan of heroes. But incidentally, like apparently his way of being a hero is better than everyone else's way of being a hero. So like him teaching the class that and them learning from him and Bakugo, and then when he messes up, them giving that back to him, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole reason I think that they're there, because they're just kind of spreading the way that he does things to everyone else. But beyond that, they don't really serve a purpose. Like they could have just been him blow, scrim blow. It doesn't matter who you are. Right. If you don't have any focus. What does Coda do? Do you know who Coda is?
Is that the kid?
That's the one with the birds and like the
weird mouth he talks to animals. I was way off.
Yeah, who cares about what he has to say or do, right? Because it's like, why are you actually here?
So what's interesting is because I know your opinion on this, and I was actually on the last Cult Cast, I ended up talking about My Hero with Swag Kage, and I wish I could have had you both here. That would have been fire. But like, you guys have a differing opinion on Deku being quirkless in this world and like what that does to the story and whether or not he should have stayed like quirkless, right? So Swag Kage was saying that it would have been way more interesting if he had stayed quirkless and like used his brains and like, or even if he did get a quirk, if we saw more of like Deku's intellect sort of flashing more in these fights or whatever, because like that was his whole character in the beginning, was that he's like this like he got notebooks on notebooks on notebooks of notes and strategies. Yeah, like he's a strategist. But then I feel like we don't really see that. Like it's usually him just screaming, breaking his arm to like hit a nigga real hard or some shit. So like so what is like your take on like the people that say Deku should have remained quirkless for like My Hero?
I think he would have died in like 15 minutes. But I also like the idea, in as far as like it's another alternate route that the story could have gone, because a lot of people like to turn it into a meme instantly, right? And just go, all right, he would have fought against Overhaul and just been on the ground. But early on in the series, we do get a lot of like that Deku mind, right? Where he looks at a situation and he's like, all right, here are all the people that are in this situation. Here are all the quirks they have. Now I'm going to come up with the perfect plan. Like using all those people in that kind of situation to then get the goal done. And we really don't see that a lot with Deku, right? Like I wish One for All was a kind of quirk where you could boost other people's quirks, and he was kind of like not necessarily in a support role because he could do it to himself, but like he'd be able to do that to other people, because then we'd have a reason to see all these different class members and stuff. But as far as him like starting off the story quirkless, I feel like I like it because it tells its own story of like you can do this too, to the civilization, right? Like all you people who feel like the superheroes are the only people that we can really care about and that they have to do all the work, and that, you know, when they're failing, we just blame them for everything. I was one of you. I was literally watching people do hero fights as a civilian, quirkless, and I knew nothing about any of this. But like I stepped up and I earned this power, and because I was quirkless, I know all this information about all these powers, all these heroes, all these villains. Like I had time for my whole life to focus on everything else in the world. Whereas people that are born with quirks, we know that they focus on their quirk pretty much the whole time until they're in high school, right? Like I'm focusing on what I can do. I can do this. Here's what I want to be. And Deku's like alternate, I guess, perspective that he has is that he focuses on everyone else.
Mm.
Right. So while everyone is focusing on, okay, here's what I'm going to do when I'm older. Here's what I'm going to do with my power. Here's what I can do with my power. Deku doesn't have that. So he has to be a fanboy of everyone else. And because of that, he figures out like how to properly be a hero, like just by fantasizing it, right? Like if I ever get powers, I'm going to do it this way. And that ends up being the right way because someone gave him the opportunity to do that.
Mm.
I like that idea of him like being quirkless, and because of being quirkless, he is the greatest hero, right? Because of what he learned from just being a regular person. Because that proves that there's a hero in all the regular people in the series. They just don't really have that opportunity. And I guess you could say the same for the villains, right? A lot of the villains in My Hero Academia are just people who had like a really, really bad day or a really, really bad incident or something happened with their quirk that people just didn't really want to accept. And it goes to show that everyone is capable of being a good person if society was different. And society right now is kind of like the big flaw in My Hero Academia. It's not a good society to be in.
So I would say that, yes, Deku did put himself in a position to like receive that power and to get that gift of that quirk. But I also like kind of don't agree with like anybody could do it, because what are the chances that All Might's gonna stumble into you and like give you a lock of his hair or something?
Low.
You know what I mean? So like
it's
it is
low.
Yeah, it is like luck based on one end, but I still do remember watching that first season or two of My Hero, and like that shit did feel like inspiring in a way. I was like, you know what, that's like, you know, because regardless of like him getting that boost or whatever, like he still did work his ass off. You know what I mean? Like he still did like a lot of legwork to even be in that situation. And one of the great things that I really liked about My Hero in the beginning was that like Deku like is the definition of a hero. Like he didn't have the powers or anything like that, but his frame of mind, how he treated people, like that was what a hero was. And I just feel like that's why I really liked My Hero in the beginning, but it kind of started to lose that focus a bit once the world opened up and then you get the villains. And by the way, like the villains are fucking awesome. They're easily the best part of My Hero. Like if it wasn't for the villains, like I don't even know what the
so what I like about the villains. What I like about the villains is it kind of mirrors like Deku, right? Like Deku starts off the story as being pretty much like this level 1 scrub. You're like, all right, who's this kid? Like, what's he about to do? And when you see Shigaraki the first time, it's like, who's this dude in pajamas covered in arms and hands? Like, I don't care. But like throughout the series, like any main characters in a series, but like they really level up, right?
Yeah.
Like Shigaraki doesn't start off incredibly broken. Like he gets his hands on Aizawa and barely gets through his elbow with his decay. But throughout the series, he becomes like this force that you really have to be afraid of, when he was just like some nerdy kid in pajamas, right? Making a bunch of video game puns, talking about getting rid of All Might. And it's like, how do you even go about doing that? Where do you start your plan to do that?
I'm gonna bring out a very old game theory. I'm not hip to the My Hero fandom, so I don't know what the fuck motherfuckers. I don't know if this is still a meme
stay
or
right
not.
where you are.
What? Oh, you talking about
right
the fandom? Yeah,
it's okay.
So I don't know if this is ever answered or like if this is just like some bullshit meme theory. Is Dabi Todoroki's brother or not, nigga? Like, what's up with that? Because I felt like that was such an obvious like thing, but like they kind of did nothing with it.
I can't discuss this.
Is this spoilers?
That's potentially spoilers.
DM me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I need to know, bro. I need to know because like, what the fuck? Okay, I got you. So. The answer, like, what is pissing me off about that is that everybody came to that conclusion like 5 to 6 years ago. So like, why the fuck did they take so long?
I think it's like, it's a meme to say that Horikoshi is big inspired by Naruto, right? But he's definitely big inspired by like all those big manga. You see like a lot of the One Piece inspiration come through in My Hero a lot. I read both. So like, and knowing that Horikoshi was a big Oda stan like beforehand, it's just like I think about that when I'm reading My Hero. So it's like, okay, this is a very Oda thing for you to do. And there's a lot of things that okay, you're just taking this from Kishi. It's okay, I get it. Like I understand. If I wrote a story, I'd probably take a couple things from Kishi. But I feel like that's one of the things where it's like, okay, we have this character. Maybe it's this person. I don't know. We'll see one day. Watch My Hero Academia season 6.
The thing is, it's so obvious, and like I maybe this is just me, I don't know, but I find it really annoying when something is like really obvious like that, and like
They don't want to just tell you.
Right, like, I know it before, like, everybody in the cast does, and, like, I get it, like, sometimes, like, you know, you pick up on the breadcrumbs and you find out, like, maybe a season before it's supposed to happen or whatever, like, that shit happens
But the whole
all the time.
series?
Yeah, but the whole series,
Like,
like, bro, like, it started having me think, like, shit, maybe not then, what the fuck, like, I
that
don't know.
same thing happened with Obito, though, if you remember. People
That
were
is
like,
true.
wait a minute, all right, this can't.
Yeah.
With, like, Dabi, I think literally since his first appearance, people were like, hold on.
It's like so
wait a minute.
obvious.
Like, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see where that. And what makes Hori so fun about it is he just keeps poking at it.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole series, we have this like keeping up with the Todoroki's plot line, and then every time that happens, of course, Dabi like pokes his head into the series, like, oh, I'm just here. No reason. I'm just getting a random scene here. Oh, I hate Endeavor. Man.
So yeah, we definitely made the block hot. So in case you were a dumbass, yes, Dabi is Todoroki's brother. Get spoiled, idiots. But like, I mean, you knew that.
Damn.
Like, you knew that. Like, come on. Like, you knew that.
Or maybe it's Shigaraki. Who knows? You know?
Maybe that's who knows? You know what I mean? Like, who really is the Arkham Knight? Like, I don't know. Like, who? Like, you know what I mean?
I think Endeavor was just out here. Everybody could be Shoto's brother.
I mean, look.
You know?
Endeavor's fucking like. I mean, take a look at the guy. You know, number
Endeavor's
2 hero. Like, you said he's a bad person.
He's just straight up a bad person. Like, it's okay because we need bad people in a series. I think it'd be boring if everyone was just a good person, goody two shoes. But like, Endeavor's a bad dude.
But like, you didn't see them redeem Endeavor? Like, that wasn't enough for you, gang?
Yeah, nah, that's tough. Well, with Endeavor, it's tough, right? Because Endeavor touches on some like real life stuff, right?
Yeah,
that, like, I know a lot of people have gone through. I've kind of gone through that a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I like how Horikoshi handles that plot line because every individual member of that family is like in another phase of dealing with that situation. They're all like a different example of how a person would deal with everything that Endeavor did, right? Some of them are like forgiving. Some of them are like, I want nothing to do with you. Some of them are like, you need to prove to me that like you're going to be in my life. And it's not forgiveness. It's I'm allowing this to happen. So I really, really like how that plot line is handled. And then you have obviously Dabi, who's like, yeah, no, it's smoke. It's smoke every day.
Yes, I'm on Team Dabi with that because Endeavor high key bozo, but I do think that the whole like Todoroki family plotline thing is probably one of the better written parts of My Hero. Like, I think that's a very well written conflict.
It has to be honest. It's like how much he actually focuses on it.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine this is mid.
That would suck. Speaking of, so again, I'm not really hip to what's going on currently, but like, I guess I just want to talk about Stain overall, because like obviously Stain is a character who's like ideologies or whatever, at least at one point, were very intertwined with like the story of My Hero. But then I feel like they don't really go into Stain like at all. What's up? Hello?
My fault. 1 second. Technical difficulty.
Nah, you're good, gang. You good, gang. So yeah, when it comes to Stain, I guess like they never really went into any sort of depth with Stain. Like his arc was like what, maybe a few episodes, and did they ever like I get Stain had a big impact on shit, but like it kind of seems like it seemed kind of out of place because he was only there for like a couple episodes. So like, what's good with Stain? Like, are they just not using him no more? Like, is AFO the guy?
Does come back in the manga a little bit. I guess I'm not going to get like too deep into it, but you do see him again. But like, even when you see him again, it's like, what was the point? What was the point of seeing him again?
Yeah.
Like, we see him again, and it's like, okay, that was cool, but what now? We're going into the final arc. I don't see how you would be important at all. And like, we haven't seen him again, so he could just pop in again. But it's like that's kind of where we are.
That's disappointing. I feel like they could have. I feel like Stain would have been
so much more you could do with Stain.
Yeah, because he was like he challenged the society, and like how kind of you were saying, like the society is like a big problem in My Hero. Like, I feel like they should have leaned more into that aspect, and I think that would have been more interesting than like, oh, here comes like All For One, like just I don't know, fucking shit up or doing whatever the fuck he's doing.
They lean heavy into that, like starting this season, like from the material here on out, it's a lot of like society stuff, but like they definitely had a big opportunity to do that a lot earlier with Stain. And like the only, I guess, big tie to Stain right now we have is obviously you have Spinner in the league. He's like a dude who dresses as Stain, but he's kind of left that behind. I think they cut that out of season 5. He's kind of like on the full Shigaraki train. And then you have Dabi, Dobby is actually a really, really big Stain like stan, right? Obviously because of stuff that he's been through. He's like, yeah, you spit and Stain. These heroes suck. Like they're frauds.
Yeah.
So he takes that way further though. So I would think, okay, you have Stain, this character. He went to jail. He's not like redeemed or like reformed. You're probably not going to have that happen. But then you have this other character, Dobby, who's just kind of taken like what Stain said way too far. So you would think maybe they would meet, or I don't know. But Stain's kind of just been wasted, honestly, because the whole series we have this kind of like bait that him and All Might are going to have this meeting. Yeah. Like at some point, they keep mentioning it, and it keeps getting pushed back. So you think, all right, at some point we're going to go to the prison. There's going to have to be some sort of arc there, or like perspective shift, and then it's just really neutered when we end up getting the meeting that they have, and then you don't really see Stain much after that. So it's like, all right, what was the point of this character in the end game at all? You could have just not brought him back at all, and I would have been like, hey, remember that guy from season 2? But he kind of just fizzles out, in my opinion.
Speaking of fizzling out, bro, and speaking of villains, bro, AFO, you think this nigga a good villain?
I think All For One's a good villain as far as like, if you had the right a villain that wanted to just be the villainous villain, like in his own head, he was like, I'm going to be a bad guy. You know, like that is him. That's him. Like he is the, I want to be Dio so bad villain. Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to ruin your life for generations and we can keep doing this. I'm here. I'm with it. What's up? What's next?
I think the way more interesting sort of villain, like, is obviously like Shigaraki, but like AFO kind of feels like he's like this big bad in the shadows. Like he's the like final boss type shit. But I feel like they didn't, I feel like it didn't really translate to me anyways, that, and maybe it
could have made him way scarier.
Yeah, maybe it would have been better in the manga, but
what would have helped, I think, is this. It's just the fact that we haven't seen his fight against All Might, right? Like if we saw, okay, this is his fight against Prime All Might, which we also haven't seen, so we have no idea like how strong that guy really was. We just have a bunch of random statements that make him sound like God. So we have him and All For One fighting, and it's like, okay, we would have seen that, and now we know there's no one on All Might's level, and we still have this guy walking around. He'd be scary. But instead, it's just, yeah, we have this guy who looks like a thumb. He just goes around, he talks trash. He fought All Might. It wasn't all that impressive. They fought for like 2 minutes, and then
Yeah, that's how I feel.
He's going to be in the story a lot more also starting from this season, but it's like, he has some fun, I'll say. All For One does have a lot more fun in the story moving forward. But for the first, like, 5 seasons, where is he? Right? Like, where is his presence really?
Yeah. All For One, I'm sorry, he could not be my GOAT. Aizen. Speaking of, bro, Bleach.
Aizen.
Speaking of, bro, you been watching Bleach, gang?
I saw the first episode when we got back, and then I didn't watch the rest yet. Or are we just on 2 or 3 now?
This is episode 2. Episode 2.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of start reacting, but then I didn't end up doing it, so it's just kind of sitting there right now.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Shit, I think for as long as you know me, I've been a Bleach Dickrider, bro. Like, listen.
Bleach is good, though. Like, thankfully, you were one of the people when Bleach was gone, right, that were like, oh, like trash and Bleach all of a sudden. Where are all those people at?
Right. I'm gonna suck your dick.
I miss Bleach.
I'm gonna suck your dick. Bro,
excuse me?
I used to get fucking attacked, harassed for liking Bleach. I'm like, bro, I just think it's a good show. Why y'all on my dick like that? No, I watched the Super Eye Patch Wolf video. Did you know that the Hueco Mundo arc is just like the soul? But was it fire? Like, I'm sorry, but
guys, please don't let content creators ruin your opinion of a series.
Yeah, like, so I've been saying this the whole time. I fuck with Super Eye Patch Wolf. That was a good video. He wasn't even necessarily wrong on a lot of things that he said, but I fucking hate how niggas will take another person's opinion and be like, this is my opinion now. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna use this now in every argument ever. I'm gonna just quote this video pretty much.
Right, like, oh my God, get a fucking spine, bitch ass nigga. Please. Like, oh my gosh. I bet a lot of them niggas never even watched Bleach.
No, that's why the Bleach recap videos on YouTube do so good right now. If you go and look at the views, it's like a lot of people either don't remember Bleach or they just didn't watch Bleach at the time and they're hopping into 1,000 Year Blood War. Like, oh yeah, Bleach, Ichigo, I remember him.
Bro said Bleach. Dude in the chat said Bleach was fire for me, but the filler killed it. Nigga, every anime has filler.
Skip it.
I bet you like Naruto. Come on, gang.
That's
like,
the argument.
Come on,
All Naruto has right now is filler. That's
you
the
feel me?
conversation.
Like, shut your ass up. It's just to me, like, I am a Naruto stan as well. I think Naruto is one of my favorite anime ever. If I'm keeping it a stack, but Naruto niggas were so elitist during Bleach's like down years, like just spitting on it, like, yeah, motherfucker, Naruto, we up, and it just is so good that we have the 1,000 Year Blood War arc animated, and it's the best anime ever, and you niggas got Boruto.
You got to sit with that. You got to sit and tolerate that. There's no Naruto and Sasuke fight coming up. It's not looking good from here on out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I was a Naruto fan, I can't say that. I'd be very upset. Bleach on top, always has been, always will be.
And all the Bleach fillers aren't even that bad. Like the filler with the Zanpakuto and all that was really good.
Yeah, I've been telling people. I've been like, as far as filler goes, like it was really not that bad, because like some of that Naruto filler made me want to stop watching like forever.
I think the biggest issue I had with Bleach filler is just the placement, right? Like you would be in the middle of a fight, and out of nowhere, we're dealing with like Kon being a Power Ranger in Karakura Town for 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, okay. Yeah. I was watching the Grimmjow fight, but okay, just change the
channel. But speaking of new peak, okay, I've read the manga, have not watched any anime yet. Chainsaw Man. I know you big on Chainsaw Man right now, gang. So my opinion on Chainsaw Man is kind of interesting, and I always preface this by saying that I felt the same way towards Jujutsu Kaisen at first. I read all of Chainsaw Man, and I was like, I mean, this is good, like this is cool, but like it didn't really like hit that much for me, right? But I said the same thing about Jujutsu Kaisen, and then
how do you like the anime for JJK?
I am a Dickrider.
Okay.
And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like, the anime for JJK made me ride so much dick that it's fucking crazy. I'm thinking something similar could happen to Chainsaw Man, because again, read the manga, I was like, this is cool or whatever, but it's not that crazy.
You got to get you to cosplay Toto on stream.
That's crazy. That ass, real shit. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, so how's the anime, bro? Let me know.
I really like the anime a lot.
Dead ass.
Like it's really, really good so far. As far as like even the small like little motions people do is animated really, really well. And I feel like they're treating this anime like an event, right? Like it has a different ending every episode. I feel like the endings all have their own videos. The voice cast is really, really good. I think they got a lot of new voice cast members for some of the characters, and it's just being handled really, really well, like in my opinion so far. The opening's great. They got like legendary people all over it, touching the opening, doing the animation. Like, I know people like the badmouth Mappa a lot, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to do when they give you such quality, right? Like, I can't really say anything negative about Mappa. When
are Mappa the niggas that did Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they fucked that shit up. But I mean, I'm glad they're doing this. I'm glad they're doing this one some justice.
All I remember about Attack on Titans last season is the opening, and I just forget the rest.
Yeah, I mean, like I really liked that season, but damn, it did look like shit compared to the rest of the anime. But I'm glad they're doing Chainsaw Man well.
They got it together after that, though.
No, they did. It started off real rough though. But
Mappa has like a whole new like animation wing and all this stuff. Like they restructured quite a bit apparently after that season of Attack on Titan. So I'm interested to see like what the stories are going to be from the animators after these next couple seasons of anime that they're working on come out, because it's like, okay, obviously we know the conditions there aren't the greatest, but it sounds like they have been improving. And if they're improving and the quality is going up, like Chainsaw Man, it just looks really, really good. Like even small stuff like Denji running away from some zombies or something, right? It just looks great. Yeah. You didn't have to pay that much attention to that kind of stuff, but they are. So it, to me at least, says the production is probably, doing really well because they had time to do that.
How do you feel about Chainsaw Man being split up in the way that it's being split up? Because before this shit came out, I was like, I feel like Chainsaw Man is such a fast-paced manga that it really felt like there was not going to be a good point to pause or to wait for a whole year for the next season. So how do you feel like they're going to do that? Because how many episodes is this one going to be?
So this season apparently is going to be 12. I think when leaks originally came out, it was it's going to be 24 episodes and they're doing the whole thing. But then I get made fun of for like repeating that old leak because people are like, there's literally no way they could do the whole thing in 24 episodes. So that can't be accurate. So I really don't know what they're going to do. I do think, though, that we are going to get like, just like Spy X Family, right? Where there's 12 episodes, then they're kind of mysterious for a month or two about when the next season is coming, and then they announce another 12 episodes, and it covers like most of the material.
Yeah.
My big question, I guess, is whether or not we're gonna get like a Chainsaw Man movie. Like, you know how they love doing that right now?
Yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna get one, and if we're gonna get one, is it gonna be one of those like canon movies, or is it gonna be just, hey, let's just have a fun time with these characters? Because I honestly don't know which I would prefer more at this point. Like, I really do like the canon movies, but I kind of do want more time with the Chainsaw Man characters.
Yeah, I was actually I'm glad you said that, because if I had my choice, I think I would actually prefer it if it was like its own like original thing.
Make something up.
Yeah, obviously, like I hope that it would be good, but I feel like the original like Chainsaw Man manga, like a lot of it, like it moved so fast, I didn't really get to like feel like I connected with some of the characters.
It's a short read. It's not even that long. Like, you tear right through reading
exactly. So like I feel like I would love to have even more time with these characters. So that would be fire if they could do that. But
I'm hoping that like this first season of the anime blows up crazy.
I
like,
think it will.
JJK and all this stuff. Like, Demon Slayer really did set kind of a standard of like, okay, no matter what people think about your manga, like your manga could be decent, your manga could be popular, people can hate it, people can love it. If we go crazy on the anime, people are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna blow up in popularity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, let's just focus the quality here.
Yeah, I do think that like we'll look back on Demon Slayer as like the anime that like gave us this like this era of like of anime and shit like that, where
everybody stepped up.
Yeah,
immediately after Demon Slayer.
Exactly. Like I noticed that like whether you love Demon Slayer or hate it, like the fact that it blew up and went viral and went trending so fucking crazy was great, because now all these anime are coming out and they're fucking amazing. Like,
yeah.
And I think that we have to thank Demon Slayer for that, to be honest.
Demon Slayer definitely changed like the future of anime, because especially for like Weekly Shonen Jump series, the way that they're being handled now versus like before, not that they were being handled awfully before, but like it's just a very big difference. Like, you see even My Hero, right, which is a Weekly Shonen Jump series, it's ongoing. It doesn't have the benefit of having come out after Demon Slayer, where now from the beginning they're like, no, we got to go crazy with this. It has to look a certain way. We have to handle this a certain way, because everything rides on how we do this anime. Whereas now with My Hero, they're already doing it the way that they're going to be doing it, right? Like, sure, some episodes might look a little better, but you're not going to see it like in One Piece, where you have before Wano and then after Wano. That's not going to happen. My Hero is only going to look as good as, it's looked already, probably with a couple minor differences. Whereas like anything new that comes out, like Sakamoto Days or Undead Unluck or any of the new like Weekly Shonen Jump stuff that's probably getting animated, it's probably going to look just as crazy as you would expect from Demon Slayer or Chainsaw Man, because that seems to be their kind of new way of thinking. Let's just go nuts on these, get it popular, make a movie, and make $1 million.
What's crazy is like before, I remember like the early My Hero shit. I was like, this anime looks like really good. Like
first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I was like, this looks amazing. This looks crazy. And then like you get shit like Demon Slayer, like Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like God,
it's
damn.
a different world.
Yeah, so it's gonna be crazy, because you can't like, if your shit don't look as good as like Demon Slayer or JJK or Chainsaw Man or Bleach, like, you're gonna get roasted. Like,
yeah,
it's not gonna be good.
If it's looking fugazi when you pull it out, it's like, no, okay, I don't even want to watch this.
I feel like the only anime that could like really get away with that is an anime like Spy Family. God, that anime is fucking amazing. I love Spy Family so much.
I need to watch Spy Family with my girlfriend. I keep telling her, hey,
oh, you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Oh, it's like the perfect like girlfriend anime. Like, watch it with your girl. It's perfect. Yeah.
The anime that I've tried watching with my girlfriend is like stuff like Hunter x Hunter, right? Where she's like, okay, like, why did you do this to me? I'm really considering.
Yeah, you must hate her, bro.
Like, yeah, no, I so I was like, yeah, so this it seems like it's gonna be like a kiddie show or something, but watch, they gonna get right in a bit. No. She didn't like it at all.
Okay, so I am #1 ranked professional hater. I am a fucking hater. Okay, that's one thing you got to know about me. So what anime are you like a hater of? I'll start. I am a Hunter x Hunter hater. I think that shit is so overrated. I do not think it's that good. If there's two anime I'm a hater of, it's got to be Hunter x Hunter and JoJo's. Fuck both of them anime. Them shits
Not
is ass.
JoJo.
Yes, nigga, JoJo's.
Why?
Fuck JoJo's, bro. Shit is so incredibly, uncertifiably mid.
We hating on manly greatness?
Yes, fuck men.
Okay, wait a minute. When you put it like that, high key.
So I wanted to know. We can debate about my hater anime picks, but I want to know, what anime are you a hater of?
I feel like it's got to be Black Clover. That's
a freebie. Yo,
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie,
gang. I don't hate a lot of stuff though. Like I genuinely I like a lot of stuff, but Black Clover's anime, like I have to hate on it because I was a big fan of the manga beforehand. Yeah. Like I was a manga stan for Black Clover. I did Black Clover videos when I was over on like Shonen, on Shonen Games.
Yeah.
I used to do videos on their chat for anyone who doesn't know. And I did like a Black Clover video on there that now I link when everyone's like, you're just a hater. You've always hated the series. You just be talking about it because it gets you clout. And it's like, no, I'm broken. I'm broken because I hate this anime and I want to enjoy it.
I'm not going to lie. I made a video talking about Black Clover sucks and I was getting bomb threats for months. I'm being so. This nigga said he was going to kill my mom, kill my dad.
They got a strong community.
Set my house on fire, blow me up. I was like, God
what,
damn.
CGI smoke?
Yeah, I was like, damn, nigga, just because your anime sucks, that's fucking crazy to me.
Even got magic. How you gonna make the magic to make that happen?
Yeah, so honestly though, when it came to Black Clover, when I watched Black Clover, I was like, this is like, I don't hate this. Like, this isn't the worst thing like I've ever seen. It just felt very like generic, which I guess a lot of people, you know, might dislike that. But to me, I was like, this is kind of generic.
No, it definitely is generic. It feels like literally there was an AI in Shonen Jump that was like,
right. It feels like AI art type shit. Yes.
No, 100%.
A perfect way to put that.
Like, it feels like AI generated manga. Not so much now. It definitely has gotten a lot better. But like, especially like the anime, it's just like, okay, I guess this is an anime.
Yeah.
I guess I am watching an anime. There's voice acting. Okay.
Right. I didn't really mind that. And, you know, I will say, like, the only time where I thought that it got, like, even, like, where I thought it was, like, pretty good was, like, the, what was it, that angel arc bullshit or whatever the fuck? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah, we're all yes.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, this is actually like a good arc of anime.
Well, it's because they trick you, right? Like the fighting in Black Clover is really good. So when you have an arc where it's just back to back fights, you're like, hold on, this is peak. Like, this is great. And then you get to like anything else happening, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I think one of the most depressing thing about Black Clover is that Yami is wasted on that mid-ass series, bro. Because Yami's my nigga, but
Yami's definitely probably the best character in the whole series.
Not even close.
Like, he's super cool. He feels like a Demon Slayer captain or something, just in the wrong series.
You know what's crazy? I've had debates with Black Clover, and I don't even know how the fuck Black Clover fans can even disagree with me on this. I think the only character in that show that I outright just like hated was the guy who wanted to fuck his sister. And then my chat, or not my chat, but like there'll be like Black Clover fans talking about like, that's just his sister. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not even like that. I'm like, bro, if you can't see the very clear sexual, I'm not gonna even say undertone. Like,
we know what that means.
Like the sexual overtones when this nigga talking about his sister, bro. Like, that shit is weird.
It's weird. It's super. And why is that like his whole character?
Right.
Too? Like,
that is his only personality trait, bruh.
You would think at some point the mangaka would be like, people ain't really rocking with this for some reason. Let me change the seasoning a little bit. But he's like, no. Let me add more. I'm doubling down.
Yeah.
I'm tripling down.
Very fucking weird. But this is one thing I don't understand. Like, why dick ride things like to that? You can like things, but the dick riding is
like everything about it.
Crazy. Exactly. Right. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, like I'm like the My Hero fan, right? Like, but the fights are mid. Like, I'll be the first to tell you, like, I don't like the My Hero fights. 9 times out of 10, Hori doesn't really do choreography like that. Like,
right,
you go watch something like Jujutsu Kaisen, and like, sure, people will say Jujutsu Kaisen, sure, the fights are great, but I don't care about anything else. But it's like, okay, well, at least you're good at something there, though. You know, at least you're good at the fight.
I would even disagree with that. I think I like every character in Jujutsu Kaisen. Every character is like I feel a way about Jujutsu Kaisen that I do Bleach, where it's like I love these characters. I think they're so dope.
Sense,
I think
right?
they're
Because
so
Jujutsu
cool.
Kaisen is inspired by
Bleach. Very, very clearly, and maybe that's why I like it so much because I'm like, this is just Bleach, but like
it's like if you took Bleach and Hunter x Hunter and maybe a couple other things and put it in a blender.
It's fucking it's fire. I love it, man. Like, God, I love Bleach.
Jujutsu Kaisen's really, really good. Like, I like a lot of the new series in Jump. I feel like we're in this new weird place where a lot of the series are a lot more chaotic. Maybe is the word I want to use, right? Like, it's not so formulaic. I feel like where it's like I'm the main character. This is the important position that I want to have one day.
Right.
Here are the people that are in my way. Enemy organization. Like it's a little different nowadays. The formula has definitely changed a bit. Like I feel like the authors now have a lot more crazy characters just in their main cast where it's like you're just not going to do what I expect you to do in this story. You're just going to take some weird route that it's like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. Chainsaw Man is that. Where it's like, oh, you're not doing what I expect you to do as a main character.
Right.
Well, I'm with it. Sure.
So speaking of that, since you were saying that about Jump, somebody in my chat had a topic that we could talk about here. And he said that Jump seems like it's going downhill because they keep axing a lot of their series and a lot of the popular stuff seems to be ending soon, such as, you know, My Hero, for example.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about Jump's future?
We've gotten to a weird place where I think My Hero is the second longest running series in Jump right now.
Right.
Like, that's weird. That's weird to me. They do cancel a lot of new stuff. Like, there was this great series called Phantom Seer. It was just great. Like, the art was really good. The concept was really good. They axed it. There was this one called Time Rider Ghost Paradox or something like that. That also had, like, a great kind of concept. They axed it. And then the things they leave in, like Me and Roboco, it's this weird kind of, like, comedy gag series. It's like, why is this in the magazine? But you cut 3 other Raw series. So we are in this place now where it's like, all right, My Hero's ending. Black Clover, I think, is getting into its like final arc or something like that, right? Or final saga.
Thank God.
One Piece in the next 27 years will end.
Thank God.
All the big stuff is ending. And then like you have these new series that are kind of here, but none of them are really like, you can't look at anything in Jump right now and say, this is going to be around for a long time. Right? Like even I guess my favorite new manga would be like Sakamoto Days. It's like if Tarantino made a manga, I guess. It's real. I don't know.
So
if
there's a
like
lot of N-words and feet in there or?
Well, it's like a lot of assassins
okay.
and like it seems at first, oh, okay, this is going to be like a normal series about some dude working at like a grocery store. He used to be an assassin, no powers or anything. And no, it like someone cuts a building in half at some point in the first like 20 chapters. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm with this. Okay. Even that, like, that could probably only be around for another 50 chapters. Like, where can that story really go? You don't really have, like, in this day of Jump, long 500, 600, 700 page kind of stories or chapter stories.
Do you think that's overall, like, good or bad? Because I remember, like, back in the day, like, it felt like every anime or manga was, like, a long, like, you had, like, Bleach, Fairy Tail, fucking,
that's what we
like,
grew up on.
Yeah, that's what, exactly, right? So it's like, now it feels like, you know, you get maybe 100 or so chapters, maybe a couple seasons of an anime, and it's done. Like, that's it. So, like, which one do you prefer?
I feel like I prefer long-running stuff, I feel like. But, like, I like the quality that you get out of shorter stuff, right? It's kind of a trade-off. Like, if you're going to get something really long-running, either they're going to hit it with the, hey, there's a new episode every week. We never go on break. You're going to get the quality that you get. Maybe some episodes will be better than others. That's what you get. Or you're going to get the, like, every year or two we get a season and it's great. Like, and then My Hero's kind of like in the middle of that, where every year or two we get a season and then you get some great episodes. But
I'm not going to lie. I really don't like, first of all, I feel like long running stuff generally, for whatever reason, like feels like it has more like impact and staying power. 'Cause obviously it's in your mind longer. It's always getting updated or whatever. But I also feel like the new era of like anime or manga where like you only get a new chapter like once a month, or you get like 12 episodes like once a year, like to me that ends up killing it a lot. Like Attack on Titan, for example. Exactly. Attack on Titan, for example, like when season 4 was coming out and I watched season 4, I was like supreme #1 Attack on Titan Dickrider. Like that shit was poking my goddamn rib cage is how deep that shit was going into me. But then like they're waiting so fucking long to just finish the anime. I was like, I'm tired of waiting. I read the manga and I fucking hate it.
Fan of something else now.
Yeah, because exactly, right? I hate like, and it also really pisses me off when like you never know when the next shit is coming out. Like, even though I hate this shit, like I can't imagine how JoJo's fans must feel. Like, you niggas never know. Like, you guys are like, are we getting the next part? Like, we don't. It might be a year. It might be 2-3 years before you even know.
For JoJo fans too,
exactly.
Because, like, Netflix has our series, right? So it's like, okay, we had 5 great seasons so far. I know you hate JoJo, but they were great. They were getting better every season. Season 5 was really, really good. Or I guess it was 4 seasons because the first 2 parts are like 1 season, whatever.
Debatable.
And now part 6 is getting done by Netflix. Like, it's the least hype part for anyone on the timeline because it's not coming out every week. We're not constantly talking about it like you're saying. We have an episode every week. But now you have the next part, which is like generally kind of everyone's favorite part. It's my favorite part. It's widely considered to be like the best part of JoJo. And now it's like, well, what's going to happen with that? Is the series just kind of dead in the water? Are we even going to do that? Like, what happens here? So it is a really, really like crappy place to be in, honestly, because you have all this hype about JoJo for 5 seasons or however many seasons.
Yeah.
And then part 6 kind of comes out and it's not even a bad part. I mean, a lot of people will trash part 6 because of a couple things. Like, some people don't like the ending. Some people just inherently don't like, it's a girl main character. I'm not with it, whatever, right? Sure. But just it being the part that Netflix got their hands on is really unfortunate, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really bad coincidence, in my opinion.
Yeah, another anime that I feel like it being split up, I mean, it didn't kill it for me because I'm a big Dickrider, but like Vinland Saga, like how long have we been waiting for season 2 of Vinland Saga? Like, Vinland Saga was like probably, I think that was my #1 anime that year. Or I think Mob might have been. I don't know. Those two were like really close, but like it's been so fucking long. And I don't blame people for like not being hype or not even really knowing that Vinland Saga season 2 is coming out. Like it kind of kills the hype and the momentum that a series has for me.
Is the manga over for Vinland Saga?
I don't think so. I could be wrong though. I have no idea.
Vinland Saga is one of those series where like the homies will promise, "Oh, we're gonna watch this every week," and now we're getting season 2 is coming out. Right? I haven't seen more than the first 10 minutes of an episode because if I go and watch it myself, I'll get yelled at. Right? It'll be like, "You want to watch that without us?" It's like, yeah.
You got to like
a year or 2.
You got to strap your homies down and because I'm not kidding. Vinland Saga is one of my favorite anime. Like, granted, I guess I don't really watch a lot of anime, but yo, Vinland is like next level. Like, it is.
We watched
very
the first
good.
10 minutes of an episode, and I think someone was like, "This looks boring," and like we did something else, and then we were supposed to start watching it every week, and we just never did.
Yeah, I guess everybody can have their own opinion. Give me that nigga's address. But yeah, everybody has their own opinion. But
I'll send you the ad right
now. But speaking of that, man, why you always getting into Twitter wars, bro? What's good with you, gang?
So I'm a really argumentative person. I'm like extremely argumentative.
Right.
Like, I just don't like someone thinking they have a point against me when they're trying to argue with me. So I like being like, "No, shut up. No." Like, I'm going to respond. And also, like, just the way that I look at my Twitter has always just been, like, my personal, I'm just going to say, this is my Twitter. I'm going to just, I ramble, and I'm going to say things, I'm going to do things. And now people respond because people follow me. So I don't really think I handle it any differently. And I guess that gets me in the trouble sometimes.
Right.
But it is what it is, right? Like, I'm going to tweet. Like, I'm not one of those people that people are going to, like, bully me into going private or something like that. I'll argue with everyone for 3 days. It's okay.
And you know what?
My phone is in my pocket.
I know that's true because actually our first interaction with one another was because of that. Now, granted, at that time, I just really had the time and I just wanted to beef with, like, literally anybody. And I don't know if you even really remember this, but it was something about Naruto Storm. Like, I had an opinion on the community of Naruto Storm or whatever, and you were like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's not even part of the Naruto Storm community." Which, by the way, I really wasn't, but I still had an opinion on shit. So then I saw this. I was like, "Who the fuck is this fucking pineapple nigga?" So I was like,
"Get him out of here!"
Yeah. So then I still remember this to this day, and You said something that I was like, damn, he's kind of right. But you said, who the fuck is this like a weekend looking nigga or some shit? And I was like, who the fuck you call him the weekend looking nigga? Then you replied like, bro, you act like that's a bad thing. And I was like, damn, this nigga, he kind of spin. And then
I disarmed you right away. I was like, hold on.
Yeah, so I remember like me and Fabian's first ever like contact with one another was like a stupid ass Twitter beef over Naruto Storm or whatever. And then I remember
a lot of people, to be fair.
Yeah, and then I remember the Anime NYC where like you like slid through the BNB and shit like that. And you was like a real chill nigga. You was a real good dude. I was like, damn, like this a real nigga. This is my boy now. Like that shit crazy.
I completely forgot that first argument happened or whatever, because that's just how I am. Like I'm just kind of like a douchebag sometimes, right? Like I'm not necessarily the easiest person to get along with, especially when I feel like, oh, I don't like that opinion, I'm gonna say something right now.
Right.
But like once people get through that, they realize, oh, he's just harmless. Like this dude's harmless. He's just chill. He just be chilling. Like he don't got no bad intentions. Literally 5 minutes after arguing me on Twitter, like he'll be on my side in an argument. Like it's just his personality.
Yeah. So speaking of all that Twitter stuff, what like, because I know you've been in quite a lot, you know, particularly around the My Hero like fandom or whatever. So like, which Twitter war would you say like I don't know if it like got under your skin the most is the thing, but like what do you feel like you got like a lot of backlash for that you did? Yeah, like that was like, dude, like this is like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if there's like,
I think one of the more recent ones is probably the worst, right? Because I had like a Twitter beef with like the One Piece fans one time where we argued like 3 days and nights, and I thought it was like a blast, right? And a lot of the times you get into those like, this is about to be just a multi-day interaction with a bunch of people. Like we're just gonna make the best out of it, and as many people as I can make look stupid with a fun reply or something funny, I'm gonna do that. But eventually it gets to the point where like recently someone made like a fake Reddit post or something like that on our relationships or something like that, like my boyfriend and all this stuff, and made it seem like it was about me and like stuff like that. It starts getting a little weird. So
that is very weird.
Getting under my skin. I mean, a little bit. Like it does kind of get there, but like at the same time, it's Twitter, right? So it's like, okay, like you take a couple minutes to be like, it's just Twitter. It's people on Twitter tweeting. Like I can mute this post if I feel like, and I don't got to see any responses from this anymore. Like I'm just gonna interact with stuff as long as I feel like it. Right. So like when I get in those situations where I'm arguing with someone or people for 3 days, like once I'm like, all right, I'm kind of getting cooked. The tide is turning. I don't know who found this post all of a sudden, but suddenly y'all got some points. So I'm gonna just mute this. I don't got to see any more of those points. Don't ruin my day with a good point.
What like fan backlash do you think was the most ridiculous? Like I you couldn't even believe that people were like arguing with you about this. Because I know somebody earlier wanted me to ask you about, you know, the Baku Deku shippers or whatever. I guess you got into
yeah, I did get into a big argument with them. I don't even really remember. Like, I think I said something like, hey, like at least like other shippers are like, we don't take story stuff that happens and try to force it into being about like something else, right? Like I don't have to take a moment between Bakugo and Deku and force it into being something romantic. Whereas, like, I see a lot of the Bakugo and Deku stuff happening as, like, you're building the rivalry. Like, a lot of the stuff that happens between any two characters, main characters in a series, you're building that rivalry out. But a lot of that stuff can also then be taken as, like, relationship stuff. And that's fine if you're doing it just, like, for fun. Who cares? Like, that's kind of your own thing that you're doing. But what happens a lot is people will take something that happens and, like, genuinely try to argue with you about what this means and what's going to happen based on that. And it's like, no, back up. Let's not forget you're living in like a fantasy world here. Like with what, like, don't take it to like, make it serious.
I think it's incredibly like, just truthfully demented that like people will take like a fictional relationship between two like teenage boys that seriously. Like that is like kind of, that is concerning to me. I'm not even gonna lie.
But it's tough, like, because I get the other side to a certain extent where it's like, hey, we just because like inherently we are supporting this gay relationship that we think is going on between these two characters, we're gonna have a lot of people that just outright are homophobic and gonna be attacking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. So like I try to keep that in mind, but then it's tough, like when it's like, all right, well now I'm gonna respond to one of these people about something that they said or something that's going on that I feel like is stupid, and then instantly it's like, you're one of those people. now we're lumping you in with them, and it's like, no, no,
Yeah.
I'm getting at you personally, but like, it has nothing to do with anything like that. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, like somebody in my chat said that that they tweeted that the Bakudeku ship was stupid and that somebody DM'd him a picture of his mom's house. So
God,
yeah, I just feel like that's, you know,
that's crazy.
like I get like the inclusion, and I get like, you know, wanting to feel seen or having your sexuality represented in an anime. Like I get that must be like a really like cool thing for you, you know, like I get that.
Especially
But
because it doesn't happen a lot.
exactly, right? It's an anime, but like I feel like it's fiction, man. Like it doesn't matter. These aren't real people. Like you're I just
It doesn't have
it's
to get
crazy.
that deep, is what you're
It's
saying, right? Like, they start
it's just
arguing and taking
crazy.
it way too serious.
Yeah, like it's honestly, like it to me, it's very concerning, and I think like these people need to, like, I don't know, go outside, see people. I don't know, because like, nothing should ever be that serious, nigga. It's anime, man. Like,
And I feel like that's the case of any ship. Like, if you take any ship too seriously between literally any two characters, it might be time to like take a breath, right? Like,
Yeah.
breathe and be like, wait a minute. These two characters aren't literally going to matter in a year or two. This series is going to be over, and I'm never going to think about them again.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be on some whole new series. Do I need to be having this fight right now? Like me, I can't do that. I'm giving people advice that I can't follow, because when I'm arguing, I'm going to keep arguing.
Yeah,
Right? Like that is a flaw that I know that I have. But for people who you want to be better than that,
and
I definitely think you have to take a step back.
The other thing too that's really concerning about this is you're fighting so hard for a relationship that is extremely unhealthy and toxic. Like, you want to stand these two. Do you see how Bakugo like treats Deku? Like, how is that
Deku they don't care about Deku.
Like like how is that any way to like be like, yes, this is a great relationship? Like, this nigga Bakugo literally mentally abuses like Deku bad. Like, how are you standing this?
I've seen Deku stands say that Deku and Bakugo were never friends growing up. Like, Deku just like followed Bakugo around and like was just his annoying, creepy stalker and like all this stuff. And it's like, okay, then why? What about that makes you want them together then? Like, what about these? Is it the angst? Like, what is it? Is it just that it's like unlikely? So you're like, oh yeah, since it's unlikely, it needs to happen. You know what I mean? Like, is it that, or what is it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking weird. It is what it is. But, you know,
this is not my ship.
But one thing that I did want to ask you about, and now that we're gonna get into more, you know, personal things now, not necessarily some anime shit. How do you balance like YouTube with like your regular like hobbies, things you like to do for fun, and like your relationship? Because I think that is a very big thing. Yeah.
It's hard. So for a while, I was working like a day job also, right? So I was working at a smoke shop for like a couple months. So like I was doing videos, then I would go to work, right? And then you get home and you don't instantly want to go like to the room or go to bed or anything like that. So it's like, all right, well, I'm in a game a bit. And it definitely, like, there was a long period where it's like, okay, like my relationship is kind of suffering from just the fact that I'm doing all this work and all this other stuff, and I don't really have time to like focus on that. But me and my girlfriend live together, so after I quit my job at this smoke shop place, it's a little easier, right, to kind of like find that time. And I feel like a lot of it is just getting better with organizing yourself in like how much work you're gonna do, how much you're gonna game, like how much time do I really have to waste?
Yeah,
I guess in the day, right? Like that's kind of like the balancing point that you have to find. And you also have to find like stuff to actually do when you're hanging out with somebody. You can't just like, all right, I worked a bunch of days, I worked all this stuff, I did all this stuff, and now we're just gonna chill here in the room.
Yeah.
Like, that's not exactly the best either.
So what hobbies do you have? Like, what do you like to do if you're not making videos?
I do a lot of gaming. I like going on walks. I like walking my dog. Like just like regular stuff like that. Honestly,
what you been playing?
I smoke. What happened?
What you been playing?
Lately I've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
Oh, dead ass.
Like an unhealthy amount of Overwatch.
Who you play in Overwatch, gang?
I play Zarya mainly. If I'm playing tank, I play Zarya, or I'm playing a lot of Orisa lately. Weirdly, I've never liked that character, but now that she has like a spear that she can throw, that can like pin people against walls, I really been liking that. But I think like as far as a main, probably like Junkrat, or just I like really annoying characters in games. Like, I like being that person who's like, yeah, I'm really annoying and tough to kill. I want all the focus of the enemy team to be on me so my team could work. let's get it. Like if I can kill everybody on the team, that's great. But if not, as long as I could just be here, taking up space and attention, that's all I want.
Nah, Sojourn is the one, gang. I'm not gonna lie.
Sojourn needs to get nerfed.
Hey, yo, hop off my dick, bro. You literally play Zarya, nigga.
And I play Sombra. I'm sorry. So I really shouldn't be talking, but Sojourn needs to get nerfed. And it's only one thing that I would change. You shouldn't be able to build your laser off of shields. I think that's BS.
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah. That's ridiculous.
I don't think so. Bro, but the thing is, like, you play Zarya though, so like.
Yeah, but like Zarya is about to get nerfed, right? So like I'm already talking from a place where I know my character's about to be in jail. It's okay. Like the fact that Sojourn could just shoot down a Rhine shield or like a Bridget shield, and then she builds up her headshot bar or whatever. Like, nah, you should have to hit a body shot or something to get any like build up on that bar.
Look, all I'm saying is shields are I feel like Overwatch couldn't exist without them, but they are the most annoying thing on planet fucking Earth.
That's why there's less now, though, right? Like Orisa had the shield before, and now she doesn't have the shield.
So for shields, it's Ryan, Winston? Is that it for shields?
Ryan, Winston, Sigma has a shield he could shoot out. I think that's it though. D.Va has defense matrix. Junker Queen is useless.
Yeah, you made me want to hop on Overwatch. Yo, how do you feel about basketball?
I want to really get into like watching basketball because when I was young, I played basketball like 4 times in my life, and every time I played, someone was like, "Yo, he's good at this, he's good at that," and like I've never been super athletic or super like
right.
Yeah, I've just never been super athletic, right? Like I started getting fat, I think around college, but before that, I was just like you're skinny and tall for no reason, kid. Right, like you don't really do anything with this. Why are you wasting this? You're not playing baseball. You're not playing basketball. But like the couple times that friends would convince me, hey, let's play basketball, they'd be like, damn. So like I like the idea of getting good at it, but now I'm an old man, so it's not about to happen. Yeah. So the closest I can get is watching basketball. But I think when I was like 18 or 19, we like cut the cable, and I've never like put the cable back on. Right, so it's like I don't know if like NBA games are streamed online. But that's kind of like why I've never gotten super big into it, because I don't have like I could just sit down these times every day in my room and chill and watch a game.
What if I told you there was a way you could live out your basketball fantasies and get into basketball all in one fell swoop?
2K?
Yes.
Is it 2K?
My kitten, I'm talking about NBA 2K23 for the PlayStation 5.
So I feel like I would be awful at 2K.
Look, man, we all start somewhere.
I feel like I'd be bad.
Nah, gang, what you mean, bro? You can literally create your dream man on 2K and start hooping.
I do have a face scan of myself from like, I think the first 2K that came out. I gotta find it somewhere. I have like this awful face scan of myself, and I never ended up using it. Cause like I literally face scanned myself, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's not about to be me. My head just doesn't translate the 3D very well. It's really big. I don't think they know what to do with it.
Yeah, I feel that, but you know, you could be a hooper. I see it in you, gang.
Your face scan looks like you though.
Yeah, it does. It does. I had to twerk with it a little bit. Look, but fuck all the bullshit. What we got to do to get you on the part, Gango?
To get me on 2K. I mean, you got to get me off Overwatch.
This nigga,
which they're about to do, honestly, because they're literally nerfing all my characters. Sombra's getting nerfed, D.Va's getting nerfed, Zarya's getting nerfed.
Yeah.
Well, you need someone else for the team right now, huh? Is that what it is? You know, I'm literally the last person you would pick.
Bro, here's the thing though. Like 2K with the boys is fire. And if you want me to keep it a bean with you, we getting cooked nearly every game anyways, because the niggas that play 2K have been playing since like 2K1, and these niggas are sweats, okay? Like the online infrastructure of 2K is just, it's not conducive to a fun competitive.
I hear the community is really toxic.
Oh my, it's pretty much the worst community I've ever been a part of. But I can't stop playing, and it's the best game of all time. And we'd love to have
I like the 2K streams. I do be here for the 2K streams. That's the closest I get right now to watching any sort of like actual NBA. Like when you stream 2K, I'd be in here. I was doing a lot more when I was at work, because I could just sit there and it's like, oh, this shift is not about to matter, because I'm gonna sit here and just watch a stream the whole time.
Right. Like, I mean,
I get it on 2K though.
We single-handedly like dismantled misogyny on 2K.
How?
We went up against this team, and their team logo was Andrew Tate. So
Oh,
me, Lotus, and Balvin destroyed them in a game of
nah, you
Pro-Am.
gotta run it up.
Right, and we single-handedly saved women. And you could be a part of that, Gango.
I think you're the reason he's canceled. You dunked on him hard enough.
I did.
They were like,
that.
nah. The face of Twitch did that. Is done.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
And I'll do it again. You feel me?
Is 2K crossplay?
No, unfortunately, it's not. It's a horrible video game. Do you have a PS5?
I got a PS5. I'll get it on PS5.
I was thinking about like,
there's this weird idea that I had of like playing it on PC because I'm like, I wonder how it would feel to play 2K with like mouse and keyboard.
Yo, you fucking crazy.
Like I just like walking around the court with WSAD. I kind of want to know what that's like. But nah, I feel like I'll get it, honestly.
Because 2K on PC is like the previous gen version, and it sucks. I got 2K on PC last year so I could play it on my Steam Deck, and that shit was fire. But
how is the Steam Deck?
Yeah, it's amazing, bro.
Wow, I'm jealous.
There's
a couple of things that people have that I desperately want,
like
that
what?
I just can't get my hands on. The Go XLR, I want one. I would just be extremely annoying with it.
So what do you mean you can't get one of those? Like, or you just have
like every time that I think about getting one, if I have the money, it's not available. Or if I want it and it's available, I don't have the money for it because I'm horrible with my money. Like awful.
Felt that, Gango.
I got genuinely so bad. I never learned how to save. It's just gone.
This nigga think he me or something. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Literally same. I literally have 2 shoe boxes on my bed right now as we speak. I'm a terrible human being.
Filled with racks?
Racks? Who the fuck you think I am? You know Twitch cut niggas pay? Fuck. I'm about to be sucking dick for money.
I randomly got a Twitch payment the other day.
When's the last time you streamed?
Nowhere recently. And I think I streamed for like an hour. The reason I don't stream is every time I stream, something is wrong on my stream. Like every time I have ever tried to stream, I'll go and look at my stream and it's like a buggy mess. So I chalked it up to like, maybe my computer's awful. Got another computer. No. Maybe my settings are bad. Watch settings videos. No. Like always something wrong. And it's also just, I'm just not used to like streaming, right? Like being a streamer, there's a way that you have to like talk to your audience and stuff that my brain turns off once I'm focused on the game that I'm doing. And it just feels bad. And now we're all just sitting here while I'm playing like some game and I'm focused and I'm just sitting here quiet.
Damn.
Hella awkward.
Gango. Yo, but real quick, I have a one quick question for you. We talked about this last cult cast. Who you got? What anime you got? Naruto or DBZ?
Naruto or DBZ? I'm going Naruto.
Big W's.
Yeah, I'm going Naruto. I feel like Naruto. Now, look, I get DBZ is the iconic anime from all our childhoods. Cool.
Right.
I get it, right? But I feel like Naruto, not only is it really, really good, right? Let's skip all the filler and act like none of that happened. Naruto also is the kind of series where like a lot of us don't get some of the writing. Right, like there's a lot of like Japanese mythology and stuff going on in Naruto that none of us like really know about at all, unless you watch like unless you're.
Speak for yourself. I'm all knowledgeable.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, I did not know about that when watching Naruto. Like that, you know, the name Jiraiya and like all this stuff, and like characters represent certain like gods, and all this stuff is like going on, and they're retelling a lot of Japanese myths through the events of Naruto.
Yeah, like I very obviously know the name Jiraiya and its significance, but could you explain it to my peons?
Jiraiya is apparently like from like an old like Japanese tale, right? Like
yes, correct.
The frog, the snake, the slug, like all that stuff, the summonings. How Naruto is like the wind god and Sasuke is like the lightning god.
Correct.
Like Amaterasu, that's named after like different gods and everything. It's like all this stuff comes together. Where if you're not from Japan, you're just like, okay, there's this character named Sasuke, there's this character named Naruto, there's all this stuff going on of like mythology that I don't know about, and it doesn't matter to me. But like, if you're from there, the story takes on a whole different meaning. And I feel like that's also the case with like stuff like Demon Slayer, right? Like Demon Slayer, to a lot of people, it's like this story is not that great, it's mid. But like, if you know a lot of like Japanese mythology stuff and like how they
Correct.
Like even just like your family coming back and like being a part of the story, right?
Yep.
And like guiding you throughout the story, like all the times where that happens to Tanjiro and Nezuko, that stuff has a lot more importance over there, right? So they feel like it's a lot better than we do. So for that reason, like just knowing that stuff about Naruto, I feel like a lot of that stuff is in Naruto, but it's not in DBZ. DBZ is I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up, and it's about to be the flashiest, craziest looking battle ever. But it's boiling down to I'm gonna beat you up, and it's gas.
That part,
but I don't feel like it's better than Naruto.
You hit the
and
nail
Naruto
on the
has
head.
the benefit of coming out more recently, right? Like,
wait, real quick, can I get your opinions on Boruto?
I like the idea of Boruto sometimes, right? Like at first I was a hater. I was like, what? We don't need this. This is stupid. But like, I like Kawaki, right? Like I like the whole karma thing of Boruto and like, I like it. But then I don't like the anime because it's like 90% filler. So it's really, really hard to be a fan of Boruto.
Yeah,
I feel like Boruto is like what happens when your editors come and they go, hey, we're not ending this. I don't know what you think, buddy boy. This Naruto is not done. So what we're going to have you do is aliens. Do some aliens, set up part 3 or whatever you want to do. We're not letting this end. And I feel like that is what ended up creating Boruto. That's my conspiracy theory. That like he had Madara and everything, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, what I'm doing to Madara. They're gonna fight Madara, beat Madara. They're gonna fight or whatever, and then I'm gonna have a natural conclusion to this series. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey guys, did you know aliens? There's aliens, and we're gonna continue this after Naruto and Sasuke. And it just feels like it kind of came out of nowhere in the end.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of everyone's big complaint with Kaguya, right? That Kaguya just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm the final villain actually. It's like, oh,
like a character with no build up, like nobody knows, like that shit is just whack, bro. So fucking dumb.
And then a lot of people like they'll say that, oh, but Kaguya, like, look, it's clearly set up. And like a lot of people don't realize that an author, part of what you can do as an author is you could just make something up and tie it to a bunch of stuff that you had before to make it seem like, oh, all along I was planning on doing this thing that you just thought of doing. Right? Like you could do a bunch of things, and now I'm going to take those things that I did before and work them into this character that I'm making. So it looks like I've been planning this character since all this long ago, and people are going to point at that and be like, look, they were set up from this far long ago. But no, like I just thought of this character here. I just pulled them out of a hat. It wasn't actually set up.
Like it just makes no sense because they like, if they wanted like a big bad at the end for everybody to team up and fight, nigga, they had Madara right there. Like
Madara, bro, the character who's literally set up the entire series as being him.
Yes.
And I feel like I remember Kishi being like, I don't know how I'm going to have them kill Madara. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get rid of him. But it's like, that is a great problem to have. It sounds like your villain is great. You got like an awesome villain that you're like, I love him so much, I don't even know how Naruto and Sasuke are going to beat him.
Yeah.
And then he takes that and he goes, oh, they won't. They just won't. He'll just have a hand come through his chest and someone else will spawn. And then I'll figure out how they'll beat her. Right? Like, you could have just did the same thing to Madara. They could have sealed Madara. I would have been fine with that. It would have been a little Aizen-esque, but it would have been okay.
Literally else. Nothing but else. But
not everyone could be Aizen.
That is true. We're about to wrap up this episode of the Cult Cast, but before we do, ladies and gentlemen, we have to crown our waifu of the week. Now, Fabian, I know you probably just got blindsided by this, but is there anybody you would like to give waifu of the week? If not, I can tell you who our waifu of the week will be.
I'm gonna give waifu of the week to Mirko from My Hero Academia. I feel like if I didn't, I wouldn't be staying true to myself and who I am. Also, Mirko in the manga is having a hard time recently, so let's just give her some extra love.
Big W's. Good choice. My waifu of the week will be, ladies and gentlemen, can we get a drum roll, please? It will be Chucky's wife from the Chucky movies, in doll form, of course, Jennifer Tilly in the doll form. One of the baddest bitches on planet Earth. Definitely winning waifu of the week. Well-deserved here. Gotta do it for the Halloween spirit. Shout outs to Jennifer Tilly in doll form.
Jennifer Tilly.
Specifically in doll form. Yes, that is when she is the most baddest of bitches. Next up, we have our Dickrider of the week. The Dickrider of the week is the guy who's ridden my dick the absolute best this week. And the winner of the Dickrider of the week goes to Ruzumaki, who made a 1-minute video proclaiming his love for me. It is our channel trailer right now on Twitch that you can go ahead and play. So shout out to Ruzumaki for riding the shit out of my dick. I do appreciate that. For our clip of the week, we do have this clip here of me playing Alien Isolation and bodying the fuck out of that dumb bitch cunt xenomorph. Enjoy the clip. Yeah, bitch ass nigga. So I'm talking about bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass xenomorph bitch. Close the fucking door. Ah! Now, I know what it seemed like. It seemed like I lost there, but I did not. The clip cut too early. You didn't see me punch the thing in the face and rip its dick off, which is clearly a thing that happened. Okay. Yeah, right, that is the Cult Cast episode 3. Thank you, Fabian, Vocal Pineapple, for joining. If you have anything you want to shout out, anything you want to say, the floor is yours, Gango.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me. Don't vape and check out my Chainsaw Man videos.
W's in the chat. Of course, his shit will be linked in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. So feel free to go check out my boy. All that stuff will be in the description. Thank you for watching this episode of the Cult Cast. I'll see you next time for episode 4.